Let's talk a little bit more about what's going to be different. So, December 1st will be the first date that the form will be available. They said initially that would be on or before December 1st. I think we are hearing that it's probably going to be December 1st. And just a reminder that December 1st is the first date the form will be available, not the deadline. Federal student aid delayed the FAFSA to have a better working application. They heard a chorus of requests from institutions of higher education, national associations, national professional associations, and community-based organizations just expressing a preference for a later open date with the FAFSA that works versus an earlier open date, using October 1st as an example, with the possibility of continuing those issues that they had last year. And so what's going to be different, right? Right now, there is a beta test going on. And so there are people and certain organizations that are allowing early access to the 25-26 FAFSA. So there's a limited number of users first, along with additional support from federal student aid. It's really hoping to resolve FAFSA completion errors and to ensure the instructions are clear and easy to use. We know last year that some of the instructions were not clear, and that caused a lot of errors for families filling out this form. To talk a little bit about the beta timeline, right? Beta 1 was about 680 users. Out of those 680, 60 were rejected, 48 were missing student or parent signatures and had an immediate correction available. There were minor bugs that were identified and successful data transmission to more than 5,500 institutions, which meant those institutions could take that information and see if it was working on their end too. Beta 2 began October 15th. A little more than 3,000 students were invited as of 10/28. There had been 2,365 FAFSA submitted, and they were doing some follow-up, and what they found was 93% of those users had satisfaction, were showing satisfaction, 87% indicating it was a reasonable time for them to complete it. Beta 3 is scheduled for early November with tens of thousands of users, so that we're really ramping this up so that by the time the full launch happens, a lot of the bugs hopefully will have been addressed, and either there will be workarounds or more hopefully there will be solutions that are already in place.
All right. So we are hoping with all of this amazing beta testing that all of this will be worked out. So far, they've only identified some very minor bugs at this point, and there are immediate corrections available, which was a challenge last year where people could not go in and fix any of their mistakes that they knew they had made. And they are aware of the parent and student signature missing challenge, and they are continuing to try to find ways to word that and put things in place that will prompt to be sure that signatures are completed before they try to submit. All right, and we can continue on. So one of the other challenges last year was getting assistance with these FAFSA challenges. A call center last year had unprecedented numbers of calls, and keep in mind they are fielding things including, loan issues, loan-related calls, general info on like how financial aid works. But the majority of the calls were 24-25 FAFSA related. There were very long wait times or inabilities to get through. And so the vendors have been really ramping up and getting ready to be able to field calls this year, and they have added more than 700 new agents. And the beta testing, while that's obviously a very small number of people currently doing it, the average wait time right now is 17 seconds to get a call answered. So we are hopeful, and they will continue. Not all 700 of the new agents are currently already working, so they will continue ramping up as more and more people begin submitting that FAFSA, and we are hopeful that this year the call center response will be much quicker. All right. And while the FAFSA itself is delayed, there are things that students and families and contributors can be doing. So the timeline this year is going to look like currently in October, any early decision or early action, some early action students are encouraged to really check with their colleges that they are applying to see if the CSS profile is required. This is a different financial aid form that are some schools, institutions required to determine institutional aid. So they should be checking. One of those schools that some are not familiar with, UVM has added the CSS profile to their request for financial aid forms. And then the anytime a person has not yet done an account with federal student aid, they need to create an FSA ID, which is their username and password or federal student aid account. That process takes a few days for it to be verified by the Social Security Administration that that name goes with that birth date and that Social Security number, and that they are eligible to file. So creating the FSA ID should not be something people wait to do. They should do it now. And then they can also create their My VSAC account, which is for state-based aid and scholarships. And they can file their 25-26 Vermont grant application, which opened on October 1st. The Unified Scholarship application is also open. So we're encouraging students to really use the month of November to research scholarships and consider applying for those VSAC assisted scholarships. There's a process of completing the form, but then also some additional documentation may be needed, like letters of recommendation or essays. So encouraged to do that. And then next slide. December 1st. So what we're hoping for, that is a Sunday. It's gonna be hopefully a quiet day. It will open on or before December 1st. We'll be able to do the 25-26 FAFSA. We do let people know that, as Carrie said, that's not the deadline. That's just the first day it will be open to all. And we do encourage sometimes waiting a few days to see if there are any other major bugs that will be identified and cleaned up. So it's okay to wait just a few days after December 1st. During December and January, you should be checking for financial aid forms nights at area high schools and agencies, and VSAC will continue to offer virtual and in-person FAFSA help through the Resource Center. And you may get Carrie herself, which would be amazing. And in February, we want to note that that is the deadline, February 12th, 2025, for the VSAC assisted scholarships. So FAFSAs do need to be filed by midnight that day to be considered for any scholarships that indicate financial need as a component. That's also when the supporting materials need to be uploaded or postmarked. Okay. So this is the current federal student aid landing page. This is not different from 24-25, but we just wanted to highlight up in the top right where the login and create account options are. That is where you would go to start the creation of your FSA ID or federal student aid account username and password. Oh, and I should say, sorry, if you can go back, Chris. On this page also, there's more information and topics below that you can find out more details about things that are occurring. Sorry. Thanks, Chris. All right, so here at FAFSA.gov, which is still a working address, perfectly fine to just type that in. You can go to studentaid.gov and then go to complete the FAFSA. It will bring you here. And this is what the screen, we believe, will look like. And you are going to do, if you are a new user, start a new form, 25-26. Or if you've started one, or you need to accept an invitation to complete one, that is where you would do the edit existing forms. And then if you're looking for 24-25, that is going to be just slightly below to the left, and you will either start a new form or access one you've begun. So this page does not look different really from 24-25, but we just wanted to make sure you were aware where to click and start your process.